teacher and a personal trainer. And today's class is an alignment flow class. So it's a cross between a hatha alignment focused class and a flow or a vinyasa class. So it won't be like a traditional vinyasa class. It's a little mixture of both with transitions that flow and periods of pause where we focus on aligning the joints, the bones, the muscles in order to find your optimal blueprint, your optimal alignment for your body. So it's really a kinesthetic felt practice where you're learning how to feel your body from the inside out rather than trying to create a cookie cutter posture that looks like everyone else's posture. So keeping that in mind. This is a challenging practice, so make sure that you pay attention to how you're feeling, and if you need to modify or just stand in Tadasana, just sit it out, that's fine as well. So a couple of blocks today for practice. I have a blanket to support my sit bones and seated, and also to support my knees when my knees are on the floor. So you can gather those props. And I want to talk today about what it means to live a life with a compassionate heart. And for me, one of the things that I think about as far as what all people have in common, or what all people want in this life, when they get to a point where they realize this is what I want, I think all people want to be loved, and I think all people want to be seen. So we all want to be loved, and we all want to be seen. And I think that's a really interesting thing to think about in respect to how we interact with each other. So, for instance, a typical daily reaction may be when you see somebody that you know, you might ask them, "How are you?" And in some respects, we ask that just for chit-chat, just for small talk, and the other person usually says fine, and they go about their day. And I always joke around when people say, "How are you?" I say, "Well, how much time do you have?" Right? Like, can you sit down and have a cup of tea with me? Do you really want to know how I am? And it took me a long time to get to this point, to be honest, because I have naturally been an introverted person, and it's really hard to start conversations with people. It always has been. I've been very mousy about it. But over time, what I found is, even though I'm introverted, I genuinely care about people. And what I found is that when I take the time to really look at someone in their eyes and to feel a sense of opening up my heart in a compassionate and empathetic way, that people do open up and they do tell me how they are doing. And sometimes I can relate. Maybe I've been where that person has been before, and other times I might not be able to relate. I try to put myself in their shoes. But even if I don't completely understand their experience or their situation, I think that being a sounding board, being a shoulder, being an open ear goes a long way with, helping people, again, to feel loved, to be seen, to be heard. So that's really what I wanted to say about compassion and how important it is to have our hearts open. On the other hand, we have empathy, and with empathy, I think one of the differences between empathy and compassion is that with empathy, we may put ourselves completely in that other person's shoes, to the point sometimes where we might even burglarize, if you will, their feelings and their emotions and take them on as our own. And I think that's okay as long as you can separate it out after you kind of feel what they felt, separate it out and just not take it on as your own struggles and your own problems. When we do take it on as our own, then I don't really feel like we can be a resilient, strong sounding board for our friends. So there's that fine line of holding compassion and empathy without taking it on. So I'll pause with that in mind, and we'll begin with a centering. So I'd like for you to join your hands together in Anjali Mudra, which means to bring your heart before your heart. Your thumbs just right at the heart center, the heart chakra, and allow your eyes to come to a soft close. And feel a sense that you can breathe into the heart center to circumferentially expand the space of the lungs and the heart with awareness and breath. And on your exhalation, feeling a sense of being grounded and rooted out through your sit bones and your feet. Again, inhaling to expand and open the heart center. Exhaling to ground down. Feel your innate wisdom grounding you into this practice and into this moment. And we'll take another breath in here. And on this exhalation, bowing your head in towards your heart, and feel a sense of the heart lifting up as you bow in. And you can even imagine that you're looking in towards the window of your own heart. Keep breathing here. And peering in towards the window of your heart, does your heart feel, the window or the stained glass of your heart, does it feel like it's shrouded over, clouded over? It needs to be dusted off to let your inner light shine out. So this practice can help us to break down the borders and the boundaries of our heart, where we may want to protect ourselves for whatever reason. And just letting some light in and some light out. And then releasing your hands down, allowing your eyes to come to an open. And if it's comfortable for you, I'd like for you to sit in a kneeling position. So sitting onto your heels with your knees bent, the toes pointing back. You may also put a block underneath your sit bones if you would like. And from here, we're going to start to sweep the arms out and up on the inhale. And when the arms are up, externally rotate your upper arm bones so that your inner elbows point in towards each other, towards the temples. And then on the exhale, releasing that, turning the palms down and in, and back towards the heart space. So we'll do that a few more times. Inhaling. Once the arms are shoulder height, you can externally rotate the upper arm bones, reaching up through the fingers, and exhaling to sweep the arms back to the heart space. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, getting some length through the side body. Exhaling, returning hands to heart. Twice more now. Last time here. to heart center. And then make your way into a child's pose. Feel free to pad your knees if you'd like with your blanket. Resting the forehead to the floor. You might widen your knees a little bit. Stretching the arms overhead. And let's go ahead and externally rotate the upper arm bones so that the pinky edges of your hands are in contact with the floor. The elbows are straight and strong. And notice where your scapulas, your shoulder blades are on your back. That internal mirror of noticing where your shoulder blades are. And imagine now that you can wrap your outer shoulder blades in towards your armpits. And as you do that, reach your fingertips forward as you guide your hips back. Now as your outer scapulas wrap around towards your armpits, also feel that the lower tips of your shoulder blades can draw outwards. And the inner borders of your shoulder blades can draw inwards. In towards the spine and down. Good. Now from here we'll come into a downward facing dog, so you can plant your hands down into tabletop first. And curl the toes under, coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. And at first here, just focusing on rhythmic breathing. And you might even practice that external rotation of the upper arm bones and wrapping the outer borders of the shoulder blades in towards the armpits, pushing the floor away from you with your hands. Feel the inner borders of your shoulder blades drawing down, the outer borders of your shoulder blades rotating out and up. We'll take one more breath in here. And then let's step the right foot forward between the hands, lower the left knee down, and we'll rise up into an Anjaneyasana, sweeping the arms out and up alongside the ears. Again, wrapping the outer shoulder blades in towards the armpits. See if you can bring your hands together, interlace your fingers, point your fingers together. And then take another breath in here, ground through your foundation, and on the exhale, shift your hips forward in space and lift the heart center towards the sky. Anjaneyasana with a little baby back bend. On your exhale, take your hands down to the floor, return to downward facing dog pose. Breathing here. And we'll keep this work of wrapping the outer shoulder blades in towards the armpits with external rotation in the upper arms. The inner borders of the shoulder blades drawing in towards the spine and down towards the direction of the tailbone. The outer borders of the shoulder blades rotating out and in towards the armpits. Good, let's step the left foot forward between the hands, lower the right knee to the floor, and rising up, reaching the arms up. Prayer Steeple Mudra, interlacing the last three fingers, pointer fingers together. Taking a breath in here. Just shifting the weight forward through the pelvis, forward towards the left knee. Lifting the heart space towards the sky. myself here. I'm just feeling the balance between the strength of my legs and the length through the torso, through the upper back, a nice even length through the back. Exhale, take the hands down to the floor. Let's come into plank position. Pausing here in plank for one breath. Exhale, lower the knees down. Bend your elbows so they point straight back. Lower your torso all the way down to the floor. And hands are going to be palms down under the shoulders. And root through the tops of the feet as you inhale. Curl your upper back into a baby cobra. Bring the chin in towards the chest, looking towards the heart. Exhale, slowly unravel your chest down, nose down. Put a little bit of pressure through the hands. Inhale, looking towards the heart as you curl into a baby cobra. And exhale, slowly unravel the spine down. Looking towards the heart, little pressure through the hands. Inhale, curl up. Exhale, unravel back down. Twice more with your pace of your breath. Working with that spinal strengthening and articulation. And finishing here, lowering yourself down. Push yourself up and back to downward facing dog pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhaling out your air. The bottom of the exhale, lightly walk or hop your feet forward to the top of your mat. And when you get to the top of the mat, parallel your feet, hip distance apart. Come into halfway lift on your in-breath, lengthening the spine, looking towards your heart. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips to the floor as you bow in towards the thighs. Let your head hang and be heavy. Again, inhale, come to halfway lift, lengthening the spine. On your exhale, fold forward, fingertips to floor, let your head hang. And again, halfway lift on the in-breath. Exhale, bow in, folding forward, Uttanasana. Ground strongly through your feet, and on an inhale, with your neutral spine, rise up, reach up to Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe join the palms together here at the top. Exhale, sweep the arms down, bring the hands in towards the heart space, Anjali Mudra. Release your hands. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. At the top of this movement, join the palms together. Arch your upper back, little baby back bend. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the floor as you fold. Bow in towards the thighs. Come to halfway lift on your in-breath, lengthening the spine. Exhale, plant your hands down, step your right foot back, lower the right knee down to the floor. And inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana, hips forward, heart open. Exhale, hands to the floor. Find downward facing dog pose. Inhale here. Exhale out your air. Inhale, flow forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower down, option of knees down as you bend your elbows, chest to the floor. Tops of feet rooted to the floor. Inhale, curl up, cobra. Exhale, push yourself up and back to downward facing dog pose. Breathing in, lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. Breathing out, bring the right knee in towards the nose, step the right foot between the hands and lower the left knee down. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the floor, framing the right foot. Step the left foot forward as you inhale. Come to halfway lift. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale as you rise up, reach up, stretch the arms up, arch your upper back. Exhale, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, reach arms out and up, arch your upper back. Exhale, forward fold, bowing in towards the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back, lower left knee down. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the floor, downward facing dog pose. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, flow forward, plank pose. Exhale, lowering down, option of knees down, bend the elbows, come all the way down to the abdomen. Tops of feet root. Inhale, curl up, cobra. Finding the depth that works for you. Exhale, push up and back, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands, lower the right knee down. And inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step the right foot forward, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Join the hands together, arch your upper back. Exhale, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Good, inhale, sweep arms out and up. Arch your upper back. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale, step the right foot back, lower the right knee down. And inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Breathing in and out here. As your next inhale moves in, flow forward plank. As you exhale, lower down to the belly. As you inhale, curl up to your cobra or upward facing dog pose. As you exhale, downward facing dog pose. As you inhale, float the right leg up, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, step the right foot between the hands, lower the left knee down. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the floor, step the left foot forward. And inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach the arms up, arch your upper back. Exhale, hands to heart, Anjali Mudra. Last time through here, inhale, sweep arms up, arch your upper back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step left foot back, lower left knee down, and inhale to rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to floor, downward facing dog pose. Taking a pause here, breathing in and out. On your inhale, flow forward to plank. Exhale, lowering down to the belly. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Bringing those scapulas in and down. Lifting the heart and pushing yourself up and back, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, left leg floats up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step left foot between hands. Lower the right knee down. And inhale, rise up on Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, right foot steps forward, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bowing in. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Stretching your upper back, lifting the chest. And exhale, hands to heart. Pausing here. In Tadasana, mountain pose with hands to heart. Allowing yourself to feel into the center of your heart space. The ability to receive love, to give love, to be seen, to be heard, to develop compassion for one another, even if we don't agree. Release your hands. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Good. Exhale, take the hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers. I'll turn to face so you can see here. Take your hands right at your small of your back. Lift and broaden the upper chest. Bring the chin towards the chest. And then slide your hands over towards the right side of your waistline. So guiding that left arm into internal rotation and turning your head to look over the right shoulder. Pausing there for a full inhale. And exhale. Inhale it back to center, head to center, hands to center of low back. And then slide your hands over to the left side of the waist, allowing that right arm to internally rotate. And then lifting up through the crown of the head, rotating head to the left. Pausing here. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling back to center. Head and hands return. Release the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms up alongside the ears. Wrap those outer shoulder blades in towards the armpits. Join the palms together. Keep breathing. Just as much as you draw in and reach up. Draw in and root down through your feet. Feel your solid strength, your resiliency, your effort, your grace, your ease. We can hold multiple emotions. We can hold multiple feelings. We can do multiple things at the same time. We can change our mind. Good, last breath here. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on your inhale. Good, exhale, step your right foot back. Keep your right knee lifted. I'm going to move the blanket out of the way. I'm not going to use that. Make your legs nice and strong. You can isometrically drag your feet towards each other and then rising up to your high crescent lunge. Let's start with the hands at the heart space. Drawing the left outer hip back. Drawing the right hip point in towards the center of the body. And then let's sweep those arms out and up. Keep working those actions of the shoulders. Keep the breath continuous and flowing like a river, like the ocean. Exhale, take the hands down to the floor. Find plank pose. Breathe in here. Exhale, bend your elbows, point them back as you lower yourself down, all the way down to the belly. Bring your arms alongside the body, palms facing up. Chin in towards the chest. Inhale, lift all of your limbs. Chin in towards the chest, crown of head reaches forward. Lift the arms using the backs of your shoulders, your triceps. Lift the legs using your inner thighs, your hamstrings, your glutes. And spread your toes and fingers. One more breath. All hands on deck here. Exhale, hands to the floor under the shoulders. Curl your toes under, push yourself up and back, downward facing dog pose. Breathing in. Wrap your shoulder blades around towards your armpits. Push the floor away from you. Lift your seat, stretch your heels down. Last breath here. Exhaling out your air. Lightly walk or hop the feet forward to the top of the mat. When you get there, halfway lift on your inhale. Forward fold on your exhale. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Join the hands together overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back. Keep the left knee lifted and rising up to your lunge, hands to the heart center. Tack your outer right sit bone back. Bring your left hip crest forward in towards the navel. And then reaching the arms out and up here. Last breath. Exhale, hands to the earth. Plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower yourself down. Take the arms back. Locust pose. Chin in towards the chest. Lift your arms, your legs. Holding here, breathing. Balancing on your 3 hip points. Exhale, hands under shoulders, curl your toes under, push yourself up and back, downward facing dog pose. Breathing in and out here. Exhaling out your air. Lightly walk or hop the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart, Anjali Mudra. So we're going to take a baby dancer's pose next. Shifting weight into the left foot, Bend the right knee, grab the right foot or ankle with the right hand. Draw everything in towards the midline. Squeeze your midline with your strength. Press your right foot back into the resistance of your right hand. Feel like you can zip your strength up from your pubic bone to your navel to your heart. Open heart space. Maybe even reaching the left arm up. You might even take your right foot back even more in space, hinging from the left hip. Keep lifting the heart. From here, taking the right foot back, high crescent lunge, landing on the ball mound of the right foot. And we'll take a tricep stretch on the right side. Bend your right elbow. Wrap your outer shoulder blade in towards the armpit. Grab the right elbow with the left hand. And bend your left knee a little deeper. Curl your upper back. And exhale, take your hands to the floor, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, stretch the right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee, take the right heel in towards the left glute, open up the right hip, the right thigh. Look underneath your right armpit and straighten your left arm. Straighten the right leg. Level the hips. Good, downward facing dog pose. Take a breath in here. Exhaling, lightly walk or hop the feet forward to the top of your mat. Good, halfway lift on your inhale. Forward fold on your exhale. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Baby dancer pose, second side. Shift your weight into your right foot. Reach up, grab the left ankle or left foot with the left hand. And take your right palm to the heart space as a reminder to stay in your heart. Now kick your left foot back into your left hand a little bit, creating some resistance. Lifting the heart space, a little bit of a back bend. And then float the right arm up, kicking the foot back into the hand a little more as you hinge from your right hip. Stay strong and powerful through your legs. Transitioning into high crescent lunge. Left foot back, right knee bends. And find the right stance here. So my right knee is over the heel. And then we're going to bend the left elbow for a tricep stretch. Wrap that outer shoulder blade in towards the armpit. Externally rotating the upper arm bone. Catch that left elbow with the right hand. And maybe add in a little bit of an upper back bend here. Right knee bends. Inhaling, straighten the arms. Exhale, hands to the floor. Downward facing dog pose. Inhale, left leg floats up, three-legged dog. Bend the left knee. Bring the left heel in towards the right glute as you point your left knee up towards the sky. Look underneath your left armpit. Straighten your arms. Good, straighten that left leg. Level the hips, set the left foot down, downward dog. Exhaling out the air. Lightly walk or hop the feet forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Just pausing in mountain pose here for a breath or two. Good. Inhale, stretch the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on your in-breath. Chaturanga Dandasana on your out-breath, or you can step back to plank. Chaturanga is where you come into the top of the push-up. And then cobra or upward facing dog. Breathing in here. And breathing out, downward facing dog pose. Float the right leg up. Inhale, three-legged dog. Step the right foot between the hands as you exhale for warrior two. Seal that left foot down and then windmill your arms out into a T-shape, warrior two. Gazing past the right fingertips here. Good. Hinging from your right hip, take your right forearm to your right thigh. Lengthen both sides of your torso as equally as you can. Then sweep that left arm up and past your ear. Wrap your outer shoulder blade in towards the armpit and turn the chest and the gaze of your eyes up. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Take your left hand down your left thigh. Straighten your right leg. Reaching up through the right fingertips. Look up to your right hand. Now keep the length that you have here in your side body on your right side. As you go into Trikonasana Triangle, hinging from your right hip. Take your right hand to wherever it reaches on the inside of the right leg. Right arm straight and strong. Left hand towards the sky, look up towards that top thumb. Inhale, rise up. Good. Exhale, take your hands down to the floor. Bend your right knee to get the hands to the floor. And find downward facing dog pose. You can stay in downward dog, or you can move through a vinyasa, coming forward into plank on the inhale, lowering down chaturanga on the exhale. Inhaling cobra or upward dog on the inhale. Exhaling downward facing dog pose. Meeting you back in downward facing dog. Inhale, float the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands, seal the right foot down. For warrior two, and inhale, rise up, warrior two. Gazing past the left fingertips here. Equal weight through both of the feet. So staying firmly rooted, firmly grounded through the foundation. Staying connected to yourself on a very deep level. Strengthening poses, even if they're simple, can really add to a sense of resilience in the body and the mind. And when we're resilient, our hearts can be more open. Left elbow to left thigh. Keep the side body long. Sweep the right arm up and past the ear. Wrapping the outer shoulder blade towards the armpit. Turning the torso, the rib cage up towards the sky. Look up towards your right arm. Keep the legs active, especially the back leg. It tends to want to go sleepy. So I'll actually isometrically press my outer right hip back all the way down through the outer right foot to keep it anchored. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand down the right thigh. Straighten the left leg on this version. And reach the left fingertips towards the sky as you look up. Getting some nice length from your left hip to your left armpit. Keeping that length as you go into Trikonasana triangle hinge from your left hip. Take your left hand to the inside of the left leg wherever it reaches. You can use that as a way to start to twist the upper spine to the right. Reach the right hand up, look up to your right thumb. Both legs strong and active. Breathing into the heart center. Staying present, staying mindful. Inhale, rise up. Bend the left knee as you take your hands down to the floor, frame that front foot. Let's step the back foot forward on an inhale. Halfway lift. Forward fold on an exhale. Inhale, rise up, reach up, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart, Anjali Mudra. Pause here, breathe in and out. Good, sweep the arms out and up again, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Good, exhale, downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And then let's float the right leg up, inhale. Step the right foot between the hands, exhale. Seal the left foot down for warrior one. And rising up, warrior one. Reaching the arms up. Let's take our hands into prayer steeple mudra. Pointer fingers together, last three fingers interlaced. Squeeze the biceps in towards the ears. Wrap the outer shoulder blades in towards the armpits. Lift the chest, lift the heart, come into warrior three. So lifting that left leg up, hinge from your right hip. Torso and leg parallel to the floor here. Push out through your right foot. Lift your pelvis off of your right thigh bone. Warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Downward facing dog pose. Breathing in and out here. Float the left leg up, inhale. Step the left foot between the hands, exhale, right foot seals down, warrior one, inhale, reach the arms up. Prayer steeple mudra. Squeeze the biceps in towards the ears. Warrior three. So the left leg is straight but not locked. Stay with me. Warrior one. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to the floor. Downward dog. On your next inhale, let's come forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Go ahead, take your hands so that you're holding what I call cupcake fingers. It's like you're trying to get a cupcake off of a plate with a bunch of others, and you don't want icing to get on the palm of your hands, right? Or tented fingers. So the hands are going to come off of the mat, and so they're about shoulder level. Chin in towards the chest. Draw your fingertips in towards the direction of the palms. You lift the elbows towards the sky. Bring the chin in towards the chest as you lift your upper back into a cobra, shoulders back, chest and heart lifted, chin down a little. So you're not letting your head hang back. Slowly unravel down. Go make pillows with your hands. Turn your head to one side. Rest here. A few breaths. Nice little soft sigh of release, relief. Good. Bring the arms along your sides, palms facing up. So you might work on locust again, where we lift our arms and our legs, our chest, our head. Or you can bend your knees and grab your ankles with your hands. Point the toes and press your feet back into your hands to lift the chest. Breathe here. Hug the inner feet and the inner knees towards each other. Like you have a block between your thighs and shins and feet. Good. Lower knees, lower arms. Make pillows with your hands. Turn your head the other direction this time to rest. 3 breaths. So after compressing the spine in that direction, let's lengthen it. Take the hands underneath the shoulders and come into downward facing dog pose. Think of lengthening the head out of the shoulder girdle as you use your strong arms to reach the sit bones up. And perhaps the heels down, particularly the outer heels. Try not to lock your knees to do that. That's a fine balance. Good, and so you're either going to step or hop your feet forward to come into a seated position. And have your legs extended out in front of you. If you need to grab your blanket to sit onto, you can. Taking the hands alongside your hips. If you can get your palms flat to the floor, do that. If you can't, you can tent to your fingers. Legs are active, feet are flexed, chest is lifted. Dandasana here. If you want to challenge yourself, you can reach your arms up. Now this might be where you stay here in Dandasana. This is one of those poses that for me is uncomfortable, but I do it anyway. I'm not hurting myself, it's not the most comfortable position to be in for me. Or you could go into boat pose, sliding the heels back, balancing between the sit bones and the tailbone. You might have your knees bent, or you might straighten your legs if you're going into a boat pose. Good. Lower the feet if you had them lifted, and make sure that you're sitting more towards the center of your mat as you lower yourself down onto your back. Wait a second, before you lower yourself down, it might be easier just to grab a block and your blanket for later, so we have less movement to do once we're done with class. Now you can lower yourself down. That feels good. So just enjoying and befriending the floor and gravity. The knees are bent, the feet are on the floor here. go into bridge pose next. So with the feet hip distance apart, the arms alongside the body with the pinky edges of the hands to the floor, the thumbs pointing up. Go ahead and press into the feet and pick up your hips and your spine until you're at the desired height. Bring your chin a little away from the chest, and you can bring your shoulder blades just a little bit closer towards each other, just a little bit. Now either pressing through the pinky edges of the hands with them about shoulder distance apart, or you can interlace your fingers now. If you interlace the fingers, pressing through the pinky edges of the hands, the wrists, the arms, and lifting and broadening the chest. Now if you're having some pain in the low back when you do this, if you lift your heels up, notice how you can get a little bit more lift through the hips, less strain or pain in the low back. You're really working your back line more by lifting the heels. Now see if you can keep that same lift as you slowly lower the heels. And then when you lower the heels, just have them very slightly lifted, like enough to slide a card underneath. Good, so your butt muscles are working now. Excellent. Release the hands, release the shoulders, unravel your spine back down. As tempting as it is to bring your knees in towards your chest, try not to do that. Just rest here. If you prefer, you can just sway your legs a little side to side if you need some movement. Okay, so I think we're ready for wheel pose, for Urdhva Dhanurasana. So it's upward facing bow pose. Before we go into it, and some of you might know how to get into it, but I want to show how to get into it with the upper arm bones externally rotating. So I like to start with the arms straight up here. Now when the arms are overhead, we don't want to jam the shoulder blades down the back like you would, let's say, in Cobra, right? Where the chest is open, the shoulder blades drop in and down. Rather, and let me sit up and highlight this actually. So like in Cobra or Bridge, since the arms are not overhead, when we go into Cobra, we tend to wrap the inner shoulder blades in and down, and the outer shoulder blades will broaden. From the inner borders, they broaden outwards. Okay. But when our arms are overhead, if we do that, then we can really impinge the shoulders. So what I have been trained to do is to allow, like we've been working on, when the arms are overhead, bring the outer borders of the shoulder blades in towards the armpits, so the upper arm bones can externally rotate. And that's going to give you more freedom, less chance to impinge the head of the arm bone into the clavicle and the scapula where they join. And then what we'll end up doing is bending the elbows for wheel. So you can see my shoulders are like this here. And if I were to jam my shoulder blades down the back and then try to bend the elbows, do you notice how the elbows are wider apart? Whereas when I wrap them around and then bend the elbows, I have more of a chance of the elbows being in. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's clear as mud. So let's give that a try here. Reach the arms up to vertical. And you're in your bridge prep with the knees bent. Bend your elbows and wrap your outer borders of your shoulder blades in towards your armpits as you externally rotate your upper arm bones. And keeping that action, press through your feet. So you have to use your legs lift your hips. Good, lift your spine, and you might pause on the top of your head as you then push through your hands to straighten your arms. Outer borders of shoulder blades wrapping towards the armpits. Use your legs. If your low back hurts, you can lift your heels a little bit or a lot. Breathing here. And we are going to take another breath. Just try to really focus on being in your heart for this breath. And then lower down. Bend your elbows. Bend your knees. Lower your hips. Lower your head. Lower your heart. Ah. Nicely done. So some of you, if this is your first time trying to do that, or maybe even first 10 times, you might find that you didn't get any lift of your upper body. Let me tell you that I must have tried that pose 100 times, like within, in a row, within so many days of each other. And I didn't think I would ever lift up. And then one day it just happened. And it was shocking and exhilarating, and I wasn't expecting it, and it was really powerful because my grit, my determination, just to keep coming back and trying again, even though I didn't know if I would ever do it. It all added up, that effort added up. And I say this because I truly believe that no effort is wasted. No effort is wasted. And we cannot forget that. No matter what it is that you're working towards, we're working things out the best that we can. And the more determined you are, the more you come back to it again and again, the more you're going to have an outcome. And hopefully it's one that brings you, joy and passion and drive and tenacity, all these great virtues, patience. So let's do a little twist and then we'll go into Shavasana. Thanks for always listening to me. Rant and ramble on about, things of the heart. We'll take the right ankle to the left thigh for a figure 4 shape. Take the arms out into a T shape. Take a breath in here, and on the exhale, tip the hips over to the left. Keep that external rotation in the right thigh. And you can roll your head to the right. I had intended to use the block for a supported bridge, but I think we'll skip that today and just enjoy this twist. Much needed there, that twist, that outer IT band stretch. It was really enjoyable for me. So we're going to come out of the twist by pressing the right ankle to the left thigh, coming back to center. And we'll set the right foot down and take the left ankle to the right thigh, externally rotating that left thigh bone in the socket, and then tipping that configuration over to the right. Continuing to rotate the left thigh externally, and then rotating the head to the left. Totally different sensation on this side. of a twist, head to center, hips to center, left foot to the floor. And we'll set ourselves up for Shavasana, well-deserved Shavasana. Feel free to pad your head with a blanket, or maybe use your blanket to cover yourself up. Just make any adjustments here so that you can rest, so your body can be in stillness and in quietude. This might be the only bit of stillness and quietude that you have for the day, so we'll enjoy it. It can be helpful here as you're lying down on your back to just begin to notice which parts of your body are making contact with the earth, with the mat. It can be helpful to name those parts as you scan your body to help you to become more centered and present. So as you name those parts that are in contact with the prop or the floor, you might even name the sensation of how it feels, the texture of the mat or your clothes, or you might even notice which parts of those foundational anchor points feel most heavy, more settled, more anchored. You might notice which parts of your foundational anchor points feel less heavy, less rooted. And with each exhalation now, see if you can allow the parts of your body that feel less heavy, less anchored, less rooted, to begin to become more rooted, more heavy, more settled with each breath, each exhale. Politely surrendering your weight into the floor. Politely, mindfully surrendering your effort into a state of ease and calm, knowing that there's nowhere to go right now, there's nothing to do, but to simply rest, simply be still right here, right now. Now slowly and gently bring your awareness back to your breath, back to your body. Breathing into the heart space. Breathing in vitality, sense of freshness, renewal, inspiration for the day. Not to cover over what's there, but to remember that there is light at the end of the tunnel, there is hope, there are those that care for you, that love you. And so feeling that love, enraptured with love, breathing it in. And then bending your knees and guiding your knees in towards your heart. Use your hands to hug the knees in. Lifting your head, your shoulders, rounding your back. Giving yourself a hug. Releasing the head down. Release the knees, roll to the right side. And push yourself up into a seated position, sitting on a cushion if you'd like. And joining your hands together at your heart once you're seated in Anjali Mudra. So I hope this practice helped to uncover the cloaking of the heart, the dust around your stained glass window of your heart so that the light can shine through to your heart so that your inner light can shine outwards. Of course, it's all metaphorical, but I think that we learn a lot through metaphor and story. We learn from each other. And I hope that each day you find something that helps to continue to dust off the cloaking around your heart space or chip away the armor. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.